So for this strategy, I'm looking for an uptrend, and then I'm looking for kind of a sign that the market will go to the downside. So this is a trade against the trend, but at the same time it is with the trend, because we're looking for a trend within a reversal. So we're still going with the trend, but at the same time against the trend. So here this strategy is a little bit more complex, but going to try to show you how I do it. So here it goes. Here in front of me is the New Zealand dollar, US dollar, and if I zoom in here a little bit, I can see the market is going to the upside. So we have here a bullish trend forming higher highs, higher lows. Here this last structure was broken right around here. We had a retest and then the market continued to the upside. But I'm looking for a reversal here, so I'm looking for the market to turn around. So now I let the market run here, and I'm looking for my highest point, which for now seems to be this one right here. So this is my highest point. This might be my left shoulder. Here I had kind of a retest with this wick, so this could here be my right shoulder, which means here is my highest low. So I want this structure to be broken right around here, which is this support area, roughly around here. So now I let the market run and see whether this will happen or whether we will form a new high. So now here still respecting this resistance area, so we're still not breaking it. We broke below it, so now it acts as a resistance area. Now at the same time, what I see now here is this two fully engulfing bullish candlesticks above the 50 EMA. So now I want to see something like this here at the 50 EMA. So now letting the market run. So now I can see a pretty big fully engulfing bearish candlestick breaking the 50 EMA combined with this one, and here I might be able to draw a trend line right around here. I have here this 1, 2, 3. So I have here this 1, 2, 3 strike depending on my drawing style around here. So this is my first area, my second area here, my third area, and now we are breaking, or we broke this structure right around here. So now I could enter right around here, which is what I'm going to do at the same time. Since here I have my third touch and I have my two fully engulfing candlesticks at the 50 EMA, so my stop loss is going to be slightly above the wick of this candlestick. And here I broke now the highest low, so now I'm targeting at least to maybe here, this area, depending what the market will give me, or I will let it run even further to the downside. But for now this area seems to be pretty good. So now here I have my 3 strike trend line and the two full engulfing candlesticks breaking the 50 EMA and at the same time breaking this structure right here. So this is the setup for now. So let's see what the market gives me here if I just let it run slightly here. Let's just check my stop loss. So here right at the right shoulder around here. So now I just let the market run, and so here again the fully engulfing candlestick was right here. And now the market goes to the downside. So now we are coming back up to here, kind of the previous highs. So now what I can do here, since I still am in the trade and I didn't get stopped out, I can now try to draw a new trend line right here, since now we broke this structure with a couple of candlesticks and even the previous ones right here. So this area right here was broken out as well, and now I have even further confirmation that the market will go lower, since here we broke the structure 1, structure 2 and even structure 3. So now 3 structures got broken. The market came back here. I just let the market run. So the market came back down once again. I'm still in my trade. So here the market came back up again, and here somewhere is kind of again a new trend line being formed right around here with my first touch, my second touch, and here my third touch. Again coming back to this area. So I let the market run and see what happens, but I can take here some profits. So now let's check if we reach the left area. So around here, this is my take profit. So we can see here the market reached my take profit right around here. So here now we got, so my take profit here got hit, as we can see, with a 1 to 2.3 risk reward, so pretty nice trade actually. So here, if we let the market now continue, we see the market going back and forth, but again I exited already, so let's see what the market does. So you're now coming back up, and here suddenly probably some news within the market, so luckily we got out, but this is what happened. So then the market suddenly came lower and went even further to the downside, but again, this is something we are not looking at right now. So here, this was the trade, the strategy. So now I'm going to look at some examples that I don't want to do, even though they are similar but slightly different. So here is now the Australian US dollar, and I can see the market is slightly going to the upside. So now I would like to look for the same strategy where I have my highest point and then look for a trend to the downside. So here I have my highest point, then the market here is slightly breaking this structure. So here, trying to draw a trend line, the trend line would be around here, but suddenly we broke above the trend line. So not really something to enter right around here. If I zoom in here a little bit, nothing really looks my way. Since I want a full engulfing candlestick breaking the 50 EMA, here we are below the 50 EMA, here above. But this structure was kind of broken, but now I just let the market run and see what happens here. So now we are going back to the upside, and here, at the moment this is a double top. I mean, we could still break above it, but for now, let's see whether this will be a double top. So now the market is going to the downside here, breaking this small structure, probably a consolidation pattern on the 1 minute chart here as well. So now the market went to the downside, which means here I can assume this is a double top. So once I see a double top, I don't really want to enter this strategy. It might work, but it might not. So here, since it's a double top, it is pretty, it can go with me or against me. It's not really a trade I like to trade. Since here is also a trend line, the trend line might also come somewhere around here and then go to the upside. So now I'm somewhere in the middle between downside and upside. So now I just let the market run and look maybe for an entry, but for now I don't see anything. So here now the market comes back up, now going slightly lower. So what might happen here is now here a trend line somewhere around. I'm looking for my third touch, and here now this structure was broken, the first one, the previous one, and this one is now getting broken. But since this is a double top, this might be my new higher low. So this here has to be broken quite strongly. So let's see what the market does. So here we actually just broke with one candlestick, now going back to the upside. So not really a break. So now here, kind of two full engulfing candlesticks below the 200 EMA. So I might enter here with a stop loss slightly above the wick and then target, this would be too small, so probably this low. But again, since here I had this double top and here my free touch trend line is still not being considered, and even though I broke now this structure, since I had this double top, I probably wouldn't enter right here, since I don't like to trade the double tops. Since here I now need a new break, since here I have a left shoulder, double head, right shoulder, but still not really something that I would trade, but let's just take it as a trade for the sake of the video. And here now the market goes lower, and here I would have been stopped out, but suddenly now my trend line is around here. So if I now zoom out a bit, and here I take this lowest point to here, because now, as I mentioned previously, we are here between the upside and the downside, so anything could happen. So now I would take my fib from here to here, actually take here maybe this area or this one, and I can see here we pulled back to the blue line. So now this could also be a bullish sign for me, and here we had the break above the 50 and 200 EMA. So I might enter here as well, even though this candlestick is pretty big. So now the market might here go to the upside. So again, this trade I wouldn't have taken actually because of the double top. Here is now maybe a third trend line, but not, since this one is also too big here, this space between the second one and the trend line. So I don't want to consider this to be a trend line, but it might be if I would have seen now the same pattern here, these two bearish candlesticks, but now I don't see one. This trade is also too small, so I wouldn't enter this buy, but again, this could be a buy or a sell, and because of the double top I wouldn't have entered here. And now if I let the market run, the market just goes back and forth, so nothing special here. So this is a setup that I don't like and I wouldn't trade. Now just going back and forth. So here now is the Australian Canadian dollar, and at the same time here we have a bullish flag breaking. So at the current moment this is my highest point. So this here is my left shoulder, my highest low. So I want this structure to be broken and then looking for shorts. So let's see what happens now. If I let the market run here, we are here now breaking kind of this structure. Here still looking for a third touch trend line, breaking here the 50 EMA, but here this wick didn't close fully at the bottom, and here just slightly breaking. We're still at the bottom of this whole support area of this left consolidation pattern, so not really breaking, so not something that here gives me an entry point. So now looking here for the market, so here now this might here be a third touch trend line. Now if I see some bearish candlesticks here, I might enter. Okay, now so the market broke above, so now here looking for a new trend line being formed. So now I need more bearish signs, but for now the market is going to the upside. So here this entry not really worked out here, not a fully closed bearish engulfing candlestick, also not a free strike trend line, and here we didn't break the previous low. So here was the break about to happen, but after the pullback of the break around here we didn't see a rejection. I needed some kind of bearish candlesticks here closing below or at the 50 EMA, but here suddenly the third touch broke above. So now here the market goes to the upside, which here kind of might be a double top. So if I just let the market run, so here now this could be the second touch. So now I need a break of this structure before looking for an entry point. So now just letting the market run. Market goes up here now, a third touch maybe. This now could look like a third touch, but I still need a break of this structure, since if I zoom out here, this again is a bullish and bearish sign. So here forming kind of a triangle. So now the market could go either way. I need a break below here. So let's see what the market does. So now we are kind of breaking with just one candlestick. I'm not really looking good for now. Still need a bearish sign. Now market goes up. Still nothing. So now here we broke this structure, but here I don't really have a free strike trend line, and this is only one candlestick, but I might want to enter here. If I zoom in here, I'm not quite sure if I would enter here. Probably this would be the trade to take. This would be roughly a 2.3 risk reward, but here we have here kind of a double top, and here now we broke the last structure. But here at the same time this could here be a third touch to the upside, and if I draw my fib right here, this again hits the blue line. So now this is a pattern between upside and downside. Since here I didn't really have a nice trend line, this was my highest point, this was my new lower point, which was here broken, but still here is kind of a trend line, but here now not really. So I'm not quite sure if I would enter here. This bearish fully engulfing candlestick didn't close fully. This one closed, but it didn't close breaking the 200 EMA. This one did not really as well. So it's just one engulfing candlestick. I don't know if this would be enough for me to enter. So let's just let the market run and see what happens. So here, yeah, we can see the market suddenly turned to the upside. Wasn't a great entry point here. This would have been kind of a buy opportunity. Probably at this candlestick breaking the 200 EMA, after the 0.7 level of the fib. Somehow here might be my target, but this would also be too small for a risk reward. 1.8 wouldn't enter here as well, but here the market then went to the upside, reaching the previous highs, and this is what happened here. So not really a possible trade for me here. So now another example of a trade I wouldn't take. Here we can see the Kiwi Japanese yen going to the upside here. This was my highest point. Now the market went to the 50 EMA here. Still, this might be the structure to consider, even though it's not really a nice one, but might consider this one as a structure. So this whole area here needs to be broken, which is here now being a support area at the 50 EMA. So let's see what the market does here. So still not breaking this area. So now about to break, which is around here. Which here still not a trend line. So now not really something where I could see an entry point. Here this wick was at the 50 EMA fully engulfing, but then again didn't break a structure, didn't have a free touch trend line. Here a second one, nothing too great for me to enter at this point. Now the market pulling back up. Here this acts as a resistance area, but at the same time here now might be a double bottom, and if I draw here my trend line around here, still kind of bullish uptrend. So now the market goes to the upside, breaking this area, now still going to the upside here, a resistance area. So let's see whether this will be a double top or whether the market will break through. So here kind of double top. So now this whole structure here, since this was the last kind of low, this would need to get broken by the market, but let's see what the market does. Here I have one bearish engulfing candlestick. So here now a second one, but it kind of closed slightly above the 50 EMA. Might be a trade here, but I wouldn't enter since here still I would need to break this whole structure. We are so far away from here, so not really an enter, and this here would be a small risk reward. Not really worth it, but one might consider this one. But since this here had a double top, not my free strike trend line, not really interesting in this trade. So let's see what here happens. So the market came out here, would have been a stop loss hit if I would have taken the trade. And now the market breaks above the previous resistance line, going to the upside here. And let's see what's happening. So here the market pushing higher. So this trade also something that I wouldn't consider because there was no free strike trend line. Here a double bottom. Here the first structure was kind of broken, but then not an entry point. Here this one not pretty nice to enter either. So this is something that I want to avoid with this strategy.